Just because you did your job, but just because you referred the president or you opened an investigation into the president, those are not legitimate reasons to have a sort of tit for tat.
He's not getting indicted for that. Did you read the indictment? It's 2 pages. You should read it. It's about lying to Congress.
Did the FBI director have information he should have given the FISA court that would have stopped this madness? And the answer is yes, he did. And the madness continued. And why did it continue? Because James Comey and a bunch of others wanted to destroy Donald Trump.
I started hearing rumors about Russia. I said, what the hell do I have to do with Russia? Nothing. And then it got worse and worse. And some of the fakers, not you, but some of the fake news picked it up and they loved it. And we went through a long time with that. And despite that, we had a great first term.
Liberals are freaking out after Comey's indictment hit them right in their face. Remember that they were saying things like this back when Trump was indicted, and now their tone has completely shifted. From our friend at Maze Moore on X, putting these two side by side. This is Andrew Weissman, one of the top contributors to the lefty cable shows. He's going to speak painfully for our ears, and watch the giddiness in his voice when Trump's indicted versus the sheer horror and panic when Comey's indicted. And if you forget who Weissman is, he was the guy who's so dumb that he couldn't even remember the passcode on his phone. So he entered it. I don't know. I'm Andrew Weissman. I have no idea I'm doing. And then his phone erases itself so that all of the Mueller investigation evidence that was on the phone that showed that he's a corrupt piece of crap, in my opinion, get deleted. Isn't that interesting? And the rest of the DOJ morons on the Mueller team, they're also so dumb that the same thing happened with their phones because they can't even remember their passcodes. And so all of the materials that should have been archived pointing to these people being corrupt criminals, they nuked because Hillary Clinton nuked hers too, and James Comey didn't do anything about it. So as long as they're all playing the game, they can get away with it. But boy, you can see Andrew Weissman is having just a bad day. Watch this one.
He is being treated no better or worse than anyone else. This is not selective prosecution. That this is not somebody who's singled out. That he is being treated just like
Trump.
Anyone else. That is what it means to have a rule of law. That is what the Justice Department is really signaling and messaging here, is that everyone will be treated, as Merrick Garland has said, as, equally in this country.
Look at his face. There's like joy, pure joy.
It's really a great day for America.
This is such a horrendous moment for the rule of law, for the Department of Justice, for the country writ large, being singled out for impermissible reasons. And so
you can't lie to Congress. That's a pretty damn good reason there, Andrew.
Just because you did your job, but just because you referred the president or you opened an investigation into the president, those are not legitimate reasons to have a sort of tit for tat.
He's not getting indicted for that. Did you read the indictment? It's 2 pages. You should read it. It's about lying to Congress. It's not criminal charges for opening up an investigation. You can't lie to Congress like that. The FBI director coming in, he hired Daniel Richman to literally go leak for him.
Vindictive prosecution. This looks like it. The emperor has no clothes. This is the abuse that it appears to be.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of clothes, including around your neck with a turtleneck. What is that? I don't even know. All right, so he is a little nervous now. You can see the tone has changed, and he might even be in the law library right there working hard. He's like, I'm going to get indicted next too. We hope so. But very different change in tone. And of course, we're asking this question. How come, like they did to Roger Stone, when you had these FBI goons come with fully armed gear trying to ransack Roger Stone's house, is this going to happen to James Comey? Remember this? When they went in to round up Roger Stone, this guy pounded on the door, full team, and James Comey, so far as we know, is not going to get that. So if they want to cry about weaponization, why were they doing that, kicking in the doors of J6ers and more? And Ken Delanian over with Jen Psaki's new show, which I think is now called The Briefing or something like that. Ken Delanian, aka Fusion Ken, is also. This is totally different. Everything that we did was amazing, and everything that Trump is doing is criminal and like Hitler.
That is a watershed. That is a line that we have crossed now in this country. And Republicans are going to say, Jen, well, wait a second, didn't the Biden administration do that? Didn't the FBI go after Donald Trump? That was completely different. That had no resemblance to what happened here with James Comey. Those were investigations based on the facts and the law, pursued by career FBI agents and career prosecutors overseen by a special counsel, totally walled off by any of the political leadership in the Biden administration. Millions of Republicans do not believe this, and that is one of the reasons where we are, but it is a fact. And this, what happened with Comey, is so much different. It's
not any different. They created all those words, they're nice words, career prosecutors. Wait a minute. If you're a career prosecutor, that means you're not a partisan hack? Is that what it what it is? Like the longer you're in the DOJ, the more that means you're fair and independent and bipartisan or something like that? No, actually what happens is the opposite. You become an institutionalist. You start to care only about the DOJ. You come in there and you're outside of the DOJ or the FBI and you're like, we got to build a new FBI building. We got to tear it down, and then you come in and you're like, they're the best agency I've ever seen in my whole life. Because you become an institutionalist. That's like what happens. The gravity of the institutions. I know you know who I'm talking about. But the point is, it happens repeatedly. And these career prosecutors are Democrat hacks. They got fired. Now justice is actually going to be prosecuted there, and they're not going to be able to protect their own kind. That's what we want. That was the whole point of the election. We don't want the same old grifters in there grifting for themselves, protecting each other, sniffing each other's odors. And so now they're freaked, obviously. Ken Fusion was a facilitator of Crossfire Hurricane and that entire hoax and scandal. So you can tell he's pretty nervous about this too. Now, Lindsey Graham was out. He said this is ridiculous. The FBI knew the truth, but Comey kept the madness alive to take down the president. And even Lindsey Graham is now getting on the train. No one is above the law.
The question for this country, and I've believed this for 5 years, did the FBI director have information he should have given the FISA court that would have stopped this madness? And the answer is yes, he did. And the madness continued. And why did it continue? Because James Comey and a bunch of others wanted to destroy Donald Trump. That, to me, needs to be looked at.
Well, we hope you do that, Lindsey. You're on a bunch of big, powerful committees, so you can do it. All right, now, the president was out. Justice in America. One of the worst human beings this country has ever been exposed to is James Comey. Fact check true. The former corrupt head of the FBI. Today, he was indicted by a grand jury on 2 felony counts for various illegal and unlawful acts. He has been so bad for our country for so long and is now at the beginning of being held responsible for his crimes against our nation. Make America great again. And here's more. Whether you like corrupt James Comey or not, and some people do like corrupt James Comey because they are corrupt themselves. And I can't imagine too many people liking him. He lied. It's pretty simple. It's not a complex lie. It's a very simple lie, but an important one. There's no way he can explain his way out of it. He's a dirty cop and always has been. But he was just assigned a crooked Joe Biden appointed judge, Nachmanoff. So he's off to a very good start. Nevertheless, words are words, and he wasn't hedging or in dispute. He was very positive. There was no doubt in his mind about what he said or meant by saying it. He left himself zero margin of error on a big and important answer to a question. He just got unexpectedly caught. James Dirty Cop Comey was a destroyer of lives. He knew exactly what he was saying and that it was a very serious and far-reaching lie for which a very big price must be paid. President Donald J. Trump, your favorite president. And just to be clear, if you're not real sure what Trump is meaning here, here's one final truth for you where he says, James Comey is a dirty cop. Make America great again. Thank you, Mr. President, for the clarifications. And Trump was also out this morning talking about this. Here is what he said when asked about this question. Are you worried that the Democrats are going to prosecute you if you leave office now?
Mr. President, I'm James Comey. Now that James Comey has been indicted, who is the next person on your list in this retribution?
It's not a list, but I think there'll be others. I mean, they're corrupt. These were corrupt, radical left Democrats. Because Comey essentially was he was worse than a Democrat. I would say the Democrats are better than Comey. No, there'll be others. Look, that's my opinion. They weaponized the Justice Department like nobody in history. What they've done is terrible. Frankly, I hope there are others, because you can't let this happen to a country.
Will you appoint a permanent U.S. attorney to try this case? Lindsey Halligan has never tried a case.
Well, we'll see, but it's a pretty easy case because, look, he lied. You saw my truth today. He lied. It was yes, no. He didn't say, well, in my opinion, he didn't do a lot of things that maybe he should have, but I don't think he could because he lied. That was a very important question that he was asked, and he wanted to be specific. The only thing that happened to him, he didn't think he'd get caught. That answer that he gave, that was a very important answer. For him, it was a very good answer if he didn't get caught, but he got caught lying to Congress.
Are you worried now that the next time there's a Democratic president, they will indict your FBI director or people in your administration?
That's what they tried to do, right? They did it with me for 4 years.
Yes, they did.
They went after me for 4 years, and that doesn't include the 4 great years that we had in the White House. So when I ran it from, 2016 when we won, it began before I got to office. You know that. Wait a minute. Before I came to office, I started hearing rumors about Russia. I said, what the hell do I have to do with Russia? nothing. And then it got worse and worse. And some of the fakers, not you, but some of the fake news picked it up and they loved it. And we went through a long time with that. And despite that, we had a great first term.
So that's how it went, where they made you go and take a mugshot. Is this more about justice or is it about revenge?
It's about justice, really. It's not revenge. It's also about the fact that you can't let this go on. They are sick, radical left people, and they can't get away with it. And Comey was one of the people. He wasn't the biggest, but he's a dirty cop. He's always been a dirty cop. Everybody knew it. And, you know, as far as the case is concerned, he gave an answer. It was a strong answer. He then verified it a couple of times because that was a very important answer. Equivocated. If he would have been like a little bit less sure, that would have been very bad for him. So he gave an answer. The only problem is for him, he didn't think it'd be caught. And he got caught, Peter.
Big time! He got caught, and now he'll have to appear in court in October, and we're going to be here to cover it. He can show up. James Comey wants to have a trial. So do we, James. We're looking forward to it, and we'll see you in court.